those of you who are trying to build your first website, I'm glad you're taking a step to do that. So in this video, I'm gonna show you every step-by-step way that I would do my first website, and that way you can build your first website, and that way you can kind of, get some confidence, and I can show you that it's not as hard as you think it is. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you have some type of um, command line or something set up, so that way you could go into your directory and you can make this. If you don't, then you can watch my video up here somewhere that is basically about how to set up your environment, especially if you have a Windows. If you don't have a Windows, it might be a little different, but something similar. You should go watch a video, set up your environment, and then come back to this video and keep watching. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our directory. For me, we can just go to personal projects. I have one for that, so cd code / personal projects, and then we can do a npm create v at latest, and we can call this our first dash website, and we're just going to hit enter and give it a second. We're going to pick vanilla, we're going to pick JavaScript, and we're going to cd into there, so cd first website, or whatever you name the file or folder, I mean. And then from there, we're going to do a code space dot, which is going to bring it up in our VS Code. So we close out of this for a second. Put this up to the side. And so when you first see this, you're going to see a couple things. You'll see this main.js, all this stuff, to straight up delete everything in here. Boom, just like that. And do Control J to open up your terminal. And so we have a fresh terminal right here. So the first thing we're going to do is make us a app.js file. We want to make us a index.html file, and we also want to make us a style.css file. Right? So if you go to your index.html and you do an exclamation point and you hit enter, it's going to be auto prefix. It's going to give you everything you need, just like this. So before we carry on any further, there's an extension that you're going to want to download, so that way you can basically run your own web server, so that way you can see your website locally. So we're going to go over to extensions. We're going to type in live server. You're going to click this one that has about 4.5 million stars, and then you're just going to click install. And what this will allow you to do is, once that's installed, you might have to reset your VS Code, you might not. But if you go down to here, you'll click go live and it'll run. And what it did was it pulled up a browser just like this, and now this is my web server that I'm hosting, so that way you can see on here how you can or this is going to be where all your stuff's linked up. So first thing we have to do is we have to actually get something on the screen. So the way we would do that is we need to link our app or our JavaScript with our we need to link our JavaScript with this, and we also need to link our CSS with the HTML. So in order to link your JavaScript, you're going to do a script tag, and you're going to point the source to this file right here. So basically from this location you would do /app.js, just like that. And you want to add this keyframe defer. So yours should look just like this. And the reason you want to add defer is so that way it loads even though while all the other things are loading, because with HTML things load from a top down kind of way. So if this is at the top, then basically none of this stuff it'll take too long to get loaded, and then everything else will get loaded and you won't see all that. So what we do is we just put this in the head and we add a defer to it, so that way it kind of puts it on the back line and lets it load up. Next thing we can do here is we can change the name of this. So we can change this to my first website, and we can save that. And you can see that's already changing. We could also, next thing we want to do is we want to link our styles, so that way we can, because right now if we come in here, let's say we want to add a heading, which is a h1 tag, just like this, and we can say, hello, my name is Will Swenson, This is my very first website. We could maybe do if you're on Windows, or maybe if you're on Mac. I think Mac is like command, but on Windows it's window key dot, and you can do like an emoji, do like a wave. You save that, and now you can see this is actually boom on there just like that. But now what if we want to, like, style this? We want to make this somewhat presentable. In order to link your CSS with your HTML, you're going to want to add a link, and that makes more sense because it's linking. Just kind of explain what kind of sheet it is. A style sheet, href, basically saying it's linking to this. So now we can edit some things. Maybe we want to change the font dash family, which is the kind of font it is. Let's say we make it Poppins, and now it's a little different, right? It's a little bit bigger. The font looks a little better, and yeah. So next thing we could do is maybe we want to add a button, right? And when you click the button, maybe it alerts you, hey, like, this is my first website, thanks for clicking. So we do a button right here, click me now, right? Yeah, no, not that. All right, we won't put an emoji. So now we can give this a class of button, btn, right? Maybe let's name it something more specific, like alert btn. So now we know it's an alert button. So you're probably wondering, well, how when I click this, like I'm clicking it right now, nothing's happening. Well, something happens. So that's where JavaScript comes into play. So think of this as three things that kind of work into Unity, right? Your index HTML is how things are kind of aligned and positioned and structured, and your CSS is how things look and kind of interact and are animated and stuff like that. Basically, the look and the feel of it. And JavaScript is what kind of holds it all together as far as functionality, making things work, buttons work, and all stuff like that. So if we want this to work, we're basically going to have to grab this. We're going to have to select this. So we use something called um, so we'll basically make a variable, and we'll call this alert button. And we'll basically do a document.query selector, and the hashtag just means that it's a unique ID, query selector by ID, and we'll grab it by the ID. Query selector just means you can grab it by basically anything. So next, what we'll do is we'll add an event listener. So an event listener is listening, as its name says, for an event. So in this case, the event would be a click. So we do something like this: alert btn.add event listener, and then we're going to listen. The first argument is going to be a click. So what we're listening for is a click, and the second argument is going to be a callback function, which is basically going to do an alert that says, maybe hello, thank you for visiting my first, if I could type, ever website, right? Hello, thank you for visiting my first ever website. So right there, if this is selected properly, what should happen now is when I click this, it should alert me, and looks like it's not selected sometimes. So what you want to do is, in order to kind of debug things and stuff like that, you can press F12. It's going to open up your console, and well, if you click the console. So it says right here, there's not a function, so maybe we need to retake a look at this. All right, query selector all. Just save that. We're gonna click me now. How about we just do this? Get element. That's the one I was looking for. Get element by ID, because if it's an ID, you want to do a hashtag. All right, this should work. Boom. Okay. So the issue right there was that we didn't have this dot right here. So basically you have to be specific, because if you just say alert btn, it's not going to know that you're talking about a specific class. And before, if you wanted to do it with an ID, you would do the hashtag. But because this isn't an ID right here, This is a class that wasn't working. So we could have did something like this. ID alert btn, and then we could come over here and change this to a hashtag, and it should work. Yeah, works the same. Hello, thank you for visiting my first ever website, right? So this is pretty cool, right? And this is your, this is a website technically. Like you basically you've added some functionality that you could do. You kind of know the gist. So JavaScript. This is basically just a little course to kind of help you get some confidence. Now you know how to build a small, very small website, but it's something, right? It's small, but it's your first website, and there's nothing wrong with that. And now you know that JavaScript handles all the functionality, and now you know that HTML holds a structure, and CSS is more like the styling and stuff. And it expands a lot. Like for JavaScript, you could do a lot of things with it, and it gets a lot easier and better whenever you start using React, stuff like that. But this is a good starting point and a good, knowledge for somebody who doesn't know much, and to kind of build your confidence to show you that it's not as hard as you might think it might be. So that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you. I want to invite you to join my Discord. Also, follow me on my live streams. I live stream on Kick and YouTube. And once I get enough followers on TikTok, if you follow me over there, start following, or I'll start live streaming on that as well. I just want to help people break into tech, learn some stuff, gain a lot of knowledge, and give back what I already know, and try and help people in fullest. I like teaching, I like tutoring, I like helping people. So if you're also needing some one-on-one tutoring or anything, join my Discord down below. It will we always try to give help on there. I have a lot of other people helping on there as well. And if you're interested on one-on-one, please just message me. We can set something up. Yeah, appreciate it, and thank you for watching.